we see a lot of the guys have their own tools, you know, their own little torture chamber area behind. So each guy probably, each one of the master builders do, and I think the team build guys do too. You know,
Dale's got a set of like house keys that he's had for years, and he just keeps growing, man. It's like a huge thing of keys. He'll just drop it on the body, and it'll ding it up. Which, you know, that's his thing, and it's cool. It works for him. We all kind of have made our own. I've used like an old neck plate that all the chrome is worn off on it, and I'll take it to a deadhead sander and sand the corner of it to make it like sharp on the edge, and I'll use it to like do this kind of stuff where I scratch up some of the finishes stuff. It's a little tool like that that I find works good for me, you know.
Cool. Good question. Yeah, yes, sir. You.
Yeah, these guitars represent a significant investment for some of us.
Yes.
And tastes change over time. Does anyone ever send a guitar back for modification, like a neck tint or a refin or something like that?
We're not currently set up to do that. I believe is one of the things that they're discussing.
Yeah.
Because it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Up until
People do ask though. Artists will occasionally bring stuff in.
yeah, up until and including now, it's just been a manufacturer, you know, and we do have authorized service centers all around that do all types of work, and there are some high level. I forget if it's like 5-star, whatever they call it. There are service centers that are authorized to work on custom shop guitars, but like he said, it's something that we're discussing. Obviously, since you ask, it's you know, something that needs to be discussed, but not currently. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, regarding your finish there, John, just to educate yourself, you're limited in California with some of the chemicals you can use there now. Because the worst that instrument should ever sound is when we actually purchase it. It should only get better. And some of the finishes may inhibit that. Getting, you know, back to the relic process, and we ever be able to achieve some of those sounds back in the 60s because of the limitations placed on us now, obviously for
Well, we're regulated for sure. We've got like a $5 to $6 million paint system at the shop, right, at Fender, that we use with the proper burners and everything. So we're to code with everything.
Yeah, the air
and
comes out
we
from
still stay true to shooting lacquer, nitrocellulose lacquer. That's what we shoot. We're kind of, you know, you can only shoot so much. Yeah, we get that. We do that. We follow everything by the book. And like I said, it still works for us as far as using the correct amount of lacquer and thinness, and that has a lot to do with the sound of the guitar as well. But yeah, we still use lacquer and strict guidelines, but we're on top of it. We stay true to you know, being compliant on everything.
But you're still using lacquer though.
Oh yeah, yeah. But you have the opportunity to say, I don't want lacquer, I want something that's durable, it's going to last forever. Say a urethane or poly finish, we can do that as well. We're the custom shop, that's what we do. That answer your question?
Yes, that's great.
Okay, great. Anybody else?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Regarding the wood sourcing, do you have an area where is your like a alder for the sauce and stuff?
We have a director of wood sourcing named Mike Bourne, and this guy is like a ninja of wood sourcing.
Yeah.
He just finds the best stuff from everywhere. From everywhere. Everything, you know, is legal, everything.
I found an old barn in Massachusetts. I'm
Yeah.
bringing in the wood. We're gonna make guitars out of it.
Exactly. It's not always from one specific place. In the custom
he
shop,
searches.
He searches and he finds the best stuff.
Regarding the alder and ash like that, we have a company that pretty consistent on getting the type of woods that we want, and they're milled and put together and glued, and we'll have those, you know, put aside for custom shop stuff or master builds or whatever. You know, on grades, we grade like this is a, you know, lower grade that has a little bit of staining going on that we can use for solid color, or this is like a medium weight guitar a body with a lot of grain running through it, or we have something that's really light. Somebody's really good. So we separate stuff, and having Mike on board helps us a lot for sourcing out some of the greatest woods in the world.
He does a fantastic job.
I've been doing, and you can see on some of these guitars with the woods that's due to him. He's really sourcing stuff from all over the world. And I've been lately getting in. I've been known to doing a lot of relics and stuff like that. I love getting in. I'm dipping my expertise now into doing more NOS, beautiful, you know, gem guitars now with like nice pieces of wood. So I go to Mike all the time, and he'll send me a picture from some guy back east that has this really beautiful piece of Clara walnut that they just yanked out of the ground. And it actually, he'll send me pictures of a truck like pulling this fucking thing out of it's a huge piece of wood. And I go, I gotta have that piece. And when he showed a piece like cut open, And so we'll buy those pieces of wood, and he'll send them right to me, and I put them underneath my bench. I know NAMM show's coming up, I'll have some pieces of wood ready to go for the show.
We had, Rob and I had found through Mike Bourne, quilted, 5A quilted flame, they call it brain scan redwood. And we picked the pieces out, like the exact tops we wanted. We go out to the shop when we hear it arrives, and we're like, well, where's this, and this? Where do they go? Oh, Mr. Cruz took those.
We're scavengers there, man. I tell you what, some of the builders come in earlier and earlier, and where's Dale at? He came in at 4 o'clock this morning because
The wood.
yeah, he went through
Get
there.
the ladder out.
And all I can see is like the sawdust around the pallets right there, and it's got his feet prints because he went through and he like cherry picked some stuff out. But what he doesn't know is I got a thing underneath
Yeah,
my bench.
yeah, he did. We talked about that last year.
So
yeah.
we're kind of like trying to outdo each other, who's got the badass wood and stuff. But it's good having Mike on board because he's always sourcing out and finding us the best pieces of wood to use.
You, sir, had a question?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, John, there may be a general rule, but what determines the use of a string tree on tellies specifically?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, you know, with the headstock design and the way that it's curved down like this, you got to have some down pull on it. We have ways of doing it now with new tuners that we use. Staggered tuners are a little bit, the pull pieces are a little bit shorter, which actually pull the strings down a little bit more. So you don't really need a string tree anymore, per se. I still like to use one personally. I think it just helps to pull the string down to the right tension, and but I can see it where people get, hey, my guitar's going out of tune. It's like, and there's another tech tip that I have on the Custom Shop website that how I get rid of some of those problems, especially with the relic guitars when you have the rusted hardware and stuff. Little easy things that you can use with a piece of 1000 sandpaper and a toothpick and sand the underneath and make it nice and shiny, and then put some lube on there. Little things like that, but. Yeah, that's the whole thing about the string tree with the regular tuners. You got to have that tree to give the down pull on it, and it also matters on how you file the bone nut. Also, I usually like to file downward, a little bit of an angle to give the string angle a little bit more pitch downward. Okay, does that help?
In the back?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Have you done a project where you use reclaimed wood from a demolished building or
Yep.
something like that?
All the time.
Have you gone that route yet?
All the time. Like these guys were just saying, we've been fortunate to pick up some like pieces of pine from an old barn that's over 100 years old. Give me it. We'll take that stuff and put it aside. We made, when Elbert was here, we had a run of like some killer tellies that he made out of reclaimed pine.
Specific, like a historic building, because
Yep.
we associate our past with some
Yeah.
landmarks. Have you
Yeah.
guys gone that way?
Oh, the Europe.
Yeah, I'll talk
Yeah.
about this. We did a thing for, if people know about it, the Star Club in Germany, in Hamburg, Germany. Historic club, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, all the biggest bands in the world played at this club. The club's gone now and torn down and everything. But somebody had the bright idea to go in there and take part of the stage. And they did, and they cut up pieces, and they sent it to Fender. And we did a special run for our German dealers where we actually used a piece of that stage and cut a piece in it and inlaid it into the body of the guitar, which is really cool. A historic thing. Whoa, what was that?
That was me. Sorry.
Oh, okay, scared me. But those are kind of things that we can do. I personally was thinking about this when I was on the plane here, because I gotta tell you guys, Canada, baby. I'm a huge Rush fan. I always have been.
I am as well.
We all are. I mean, Rush was like when I first got into a band and learned how to play guitar, I did All the World's of Stage, side one, all the way through. I learned it. And played in the band, the 3Ps, and we were going to be the next Orange County Rush. That was our thing.
My first concert in 1982.
Yeah, nice. So getting to that, what I was going to say is, I know they did a lot of recording up this way at Le Studios. I think it's in Montreal, or is it around here? I'm not sure where exactly it's at. But I saw some video recently that just tore my heart out, that bands like April Wine and Joan Baez and of course Rush recorded all their classic albums at this place. I heard it's like in shambles now and ready to go. I thought, while I was here, maybe we could take a ride up there and I could take a saw with me and maybe cut some pieces of wood out of the wall. I'm serious. I want to do something like that and do a guitar with a piece of the studio in there. I thought, how cool would that be?
Tell Getty you got a piece of the studio.
Well, he'd probably want to get it back, make me a bass, which I would be
Yeah.
thrilled to make him a bass. But little things like that, little inspirations like that. I get inspired by things all over the world. Like we were recently in Rio. I don't think I'll be able to get away with it, but I wanted to do a painted guitar with like beautiful girls all over it, like half dressed, whatever. But it's just a thing, inspirations from all over the world. I was in Paris, you know, I want to do something for that, for, you know, like the French thing, you know. I'd love to do something here for people from Canada, you know. Like I said, a huge sports fan, a Rush fan, a Triumph fan, all those. But something that's historical to Toronto area, give me some ideas, man. I'll write them down, because you never know. Maybe next year I'll come back and I got this guitar with the Canadian leaf on it, or you know, some Canadian maple wood, you know, from Canada. Why not? You know what I mean? Maple leaf inlays, that kind of stuff. Anything's possible. I feed off of you guys, man. I mean, I take a lot of things, ideas back with me, and that's kind of feeds me to come up with new things for the next year. So if you guys got ideas, I'm all about that. Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Muddy Waters Telecaster, you guys gotta bring that back.
I'm not sure if they're going to bring it back. I did the original ones of those. That was a fun project too. That was, quite honestly, one of the best tellies I think I've ever played.
I'm telling you, rings like a bell.
It rings like a bell, and it was just, and there was nothing special about the pickups. It was just that we chose a certain,
Brass saddles, right?
yeah, the brass saddles and stuff, and then the, you know, the Schwinn bicycle paint, you know, color over the top of it, which was really cool. And that was a pain in the butt to do that one too, to nail the, you know, the marks and everything, and the amp knobs, all that stuff. But we did it, and quite honestly, it was one of the best sounding tellies next to the Jeff Beck Esquire that we did, the Yardbirds guitar, was another one.
No plan to bring it back, I guess, right?
I don't think so. I know that they did I want to say a Japanese version where they were doing, it was like a NOS version of it.
Mexican version.
Yeah, Mexican version. But I'm not sure if there's any plans. I mean, you never know for the future, if the demand's there, that you never know. But I can't say that it's going to happen right now. So if somebody's got one of those guitars, especially one of the relic ones that I did, hang on to it, because it's going to probably be worth some good dough sometime.
Cool. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Did you guys have anything to do with the Zappa family? They had the Hendrix guitar, and Weasel brought it apparently into you guys?
I think he brought it to the custom shop a long time ago, and one of the builders, Larry Brooks, that used to be there, was one of the artist builders at the time, artist relations, had done some stuff, and they sent him some pickups, and Dweezil wanted to kind of bring it back to life. I don't think they did it in the custom shop, but they gave him some parts and stuff to do it. I can't confirm that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. Some people have asked about that guitar.
Will that ever become a production?
I don't know. It would have to be something that marketing, and we'd have to see if it's something that would really be in demand. A lot of people don't really know about the guitar, but true Hendrix fans would know about it, you know.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to see it. I think it would be cool, you
Yeah.
know. There's
sure.
a lot of artist guitars that we'd love to touch on. You know, we've worked on a lot of great guitars over the years. We got some other things in the pot right now that are probably going to be happening, and one of them I want to share with you today. That I'm a huge fan of. You know, the European rock scene, Richie Blackmore, Michael Schenker. Those are the guys that I grew up listening to. Thin Lizzy, one of my favorite bands of all time. And that was where I heard of my favorite guitar hero was Gary Moore. And he's my top guitar player of all time. And I followed his career from funny enough, the first time I saw him was at a Rush concert. I went to see Rush with my Rush shirt on, my Rush, you know, pants with the freaking Rush decals, all that crap on it. I was there for Rush. I left there a Gary Moore fan, switched forever, my favorite guitar player of all time. Years later, it comes down to, you know, what tribute models have we done or what's coming up. I really wanted to do this Gary Moore 61 Strat, salmon pink color, you know, the Fiesta red looking, faded pink looking one. And I brought it to marketing's attention a few years back, and they said, yeah, I don't think so, man. There's not, you know, he's a Gibson guy, and this and that. There's not going to be a big demand for it. I'm thinking to myself, you're wrong, man. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong. So they shelved the project, and I was kind of upset about it, and I just kind of let it go. A couple years goes by, Gary dies. I was devastated. And it's kind of my paying homage to my hero now that we got it okayed. Looks like we're going to be doing a Gary Moore guitar this year. And so get ready for it. It's going to be a very limited run. I'm putting my heart and soul into it because he's my hero, all-time hero. Like I says, I'm going to do every one of them. They'll be master built, very limited quantity. Start saving your ducats for this one because it's going to be a very cool guitar. I promise you.
So talking about the tribute stuff, and,
Yeah.
and here's John. It's almost like a passion project.
Yeah.
His next tribute thing. So
Well,
that's
when I
pretty
was in
cool.
Europe, I went to spec out the guitar, and I opened the case, and I seriously got teary-eyed because here's the guitar that I saw at a Rush concert. He came out and ripped my face off with, and I've been a fan ever since. And I got to go visit him at his gravesite, which was another emotional time. But I bowed down, said a prayer, put on my little earbuds and my thing, and I had Empty Rooms, you know, one of his famous songs keyed up, and I just talked to him a little bit, you know, really emotional. I'm not really like the emotional type, but this really got to me, and I just told him that I'm going to pay homage to you, man. I want to do something cool for you, and I want you to be proud of something. And it never got to happen because I know he was into it before when he was alive, but we couldn't make it happen at that time. But it's going to happen now. I'm proud about it, and I hope you guys will think that when you see it. But stay tuned because it's coming to surface soon.